Welcome to Networking with LinkedIn. My name is Debbie Goldbarg, and this is a Learning Center webinar recorded for your view. Our session today, we cover information regarding some of the advanced features of LinkedIn. If you have not taken LinkedIn Basics or you do not currently have a LinkedIn profile set up, we recommend that you listen to that recording first and set up your profile. We're going to talk about the homepage view of information. You're going to want to build your network and utilize the connection view of your network to help you strategize how to grow your network. You can use the advanced or the universal search bar to integrate information related to search and some of the advanced search features. There's information available for you to connect to people, ask for introductions through second-level contacts, see how you're connected to those people that might even be hiring professionals at targeted companies. We're going to talk about the integrated approach to find company information, to access company profiles, to connect to LinkedIn groups and the professionals associated with them. And we're going to talk about the Jobs tab that gives you access to the jobs and the job board information on LinkedIn. You can let recruiters know you're looking. You can also access salary information, and it's integrated into the universal search tool. So that's primarily what we're going to talk about on the Networking with LinkedIn session. In our previous basic LinkedIn session, we talk about benefits of using LinkedIn, the privacy and settings options. We go through the paid versus free features. The premium version is available on a free 30-day trial period. If you're interested, you want to check on that. And you also can create a strong profile. That's the premise of our LinkedIn Basics webinar. We have a recording on that as well. Now, I'm going to take you online to show you some of the features, just to point out a few. There's the universal search bar. Now, in the upper left-hand corner, you can type in any keyword. It could be the name of a person. It could be an area of expertise. It could be a job title, and it will search on the site integrated into people with that job title, jobs with that position, companies, information related to that particular word or word choices that you list. There's also information regarding home, which covers anything posted by your connections and you post. And we'll also talk about your network, jobs, messaging, notifications, and there's the view of your profile. If you click below, it actually allows you to see privacy and settings as well as the content of your profile. And then we'll talk about the work feature, where you have some professional services, resources there that you can access. And, of course, this is the prompt to try the premium version. And there's information also showing up here. This is actually the home page view. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take you onto my LinkedIn profile. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the next steps. Now, on the LinkedIn, in the search feature in the upper left-hand corner, you can search on anything. One of the questions I typically have is, okay, what information is on the site regarding a topic of interest? And maybe that topic is training. So if I want to search on training, it actually keeps training in the search box here. It shows me jobs requiring that skill, people with that skill, groups about training, and I can see a lot of content integrated in the results. I can see here jobs results for training, people results for training, and if you click on something, it's going to show up, and there it promotes the premium version. So I'm going to be able to also navigate here posts that represent any content on training. Companies that may be training companies, and training is in the title in most of these here. Groups that represent training. So if I have a topic of interest, I would probably want to do a search at that universal search bar to find additional content. Now, again, we'll come back to the search, because anytime you do a search, it's going to integrate these features here, and that's a good place to be. If you're looking for people, you can do a search on maybe a company you're looking for people there. Maybe your company is, we're going to do a search here on LHH Harrison, and I can begin to type it in, and it asks me, do I want to know people who work there, jobs at LHH Harrison? Let's just go ahead right now, and we'll select the LHH Harrison Alumni Group. So if you have not already selected this to be a member, you're welcome to do that. We do promote articles and information in here. And you'll see, again, it tells a little bit about the group, members of the group, and I'm actually a member of the group. Now you can see articles posted and so on in this particular group. Now it actually did pull up the group, and I'm going to just go back to the profile here for a moment. Now if I wanted to pull more information, I could come back to the search, but I happen to pull up a specific group, so it kind of narrowed my information. Now what I want to do is click on the home page. This is typically what shows up when you sign into the website. So when you sign in on LinkedIn, you don't want to save your password unless you're using your own device. Otherwise, publicly, you want to make sure you always sign out. You don't want anyone to access your password and your privacy settings. So when you click the home page, anytime you want to share an article, a photo, or share something with someone, you can do that. You can indicate here whether or not your post is going to be public and Twitter, or it's sent out to your connections. Okay, you can add an image here. Now, if you go down to the newsfeed, which I typically do every day when I sign in, I might allow a half hour or so. I'll read through the newsfeed, and I might read an article that's of interest to me. Before I like something, before I comment, before I share, I'll generally read the full article. Anytime I make a reference to maybe writing in the box up at the top, I like, comment, or share something, it is going to be shared in my home page in the news feed that goes out to my connections. So that's important to remember. So you do want to read thoroughly what you're sharing and information that may be helpful. So you can see several different articles in here, 10 things great leaders do to get people on board with change. I would take a look at the article. I notice that it's from Forbes. If I happen to read an article and I'm really interested, I might go to the original website and be able to use that as a source for additional posting content. Now you can see you're getting into a variety of different posts based on your connections. Here's an e-learning tool. Again, 4 daily habits you need to give up to be a better leader. So there might be some great articles in here I'm missing if I don't go in on this maybe every single day. Now, I don't have to, but again, it's great content, and anything I like, share, or comment on is going to be posted in my newsfeed. So that's going to help me as I grow my network. People can actually take a look. Let me go back to my profile just for a second. If you're viewing my profile, now I'm in the edit mode, but if I am going to showcase this, I can actually click here. I can save my profile as a PDF. I can share my profile with somebody here. That's a new feature there on LinkedIn. But if I want to just see what are people going to see, I can click here and people can see more of the summary of the profile. They can see down below here my activities. So these are some activities that I've contributed to, and now it's going to show them fully from the profile. So it shows all activities and posts and articles and so on. I haven't shared a particular article from here right at the moment, but I have a lot of activities sharing content and also posting content from other sites. So what you can do, and let's say here's the Muse. I like this site, so I might click on this article. It takes me to the Muse site, and I can go in and I can take a look at articles in here, and let's say I want to search for an article maybe in job search strategy. Well, that's actually not posting the article here, so I can go to their homepage, and there's usually some articles, career advice for some information, and I can take a look at, okay, so there's some articles in here for ways to get better at making snap decisions, and I can share, and let's say I like this article here, and I want to share it on LinkedIn. I can go ahead and click the little button, and it will allow me to share that article on LinkedIn. Now, I'm going to read that article in full, but when I choose to share the article, I can share here an update. I can also share with my connections, unless I want to post it publicly, which I could. I could send it to individuals as well and type in their name and be willing to, again, share this great article. Thought you might be interested in seeing this. And I typically would do that, but I'm not going to, I'm going to put it here, connections, or I might, in this case, click off share an update. So I'm not going to share the update. I'm going to share this with individuals, and I'm going to share it with Kathy. Thought you might be interested and send it to her. Now, actually, I'm going to take that off. I'm going to send it to somebody else. I can just share it. It'll go directly to them. So this is a nice option as you begin to explore utilizing LinkedIn to benefit other people as you come up with some great articles and information. Again, looking at some of the different sites that are on here as good resources in finding content. Now, if you go to my network, this is a great way to build your network. I've received a couple of invitations. If I choose to accept, I certainly can. I can look to see, well, did either one of them message me, share with me any requests of information that may help me get to know them a little bit? They did not. So I have to look and see, you know, I might go ahead and accept one, ignore one. Those are options that I have. I can also go into my personal contacts with my email. And I've got enough connections here that I can go in and I can see some connections. I can message them. I can also choose to remove a connection here if I'm like. When I'm looking at my connections, I can come up here and look according to those recently added, sort by first name, last name, or search a connection with a particular company or with a particular reference on the profile. So it is a good idea to have at least 300 connections, then eventually building up to 500 connections. LinkedIn likes to recognize 500 or more as a strong profile. It's going to give you more viewable opportunity, more exposure to hiring professionals. Your content, skill words, industry buzzwords will also help make you more visible to hiring professionals. Now I'm on the Jobs tab. I just happen to click on that. It allows me to search for a position, and let's say I'm looking for a project manager position, and I might be searching for a particular position, and I'm going to search. I can search worldwide. Let me go ahead and search in a particular area, and it sometimes doesn't want to do that. Let's just search the U.S. So I'm going to look all over the U.S., and it does navigate to the Jobs tab because that's what I'm doing, but I can also find people that are project managers in the U.S. If I click people here, that's what it's going to do. It's going to navigate to people that have project manager in their profile. And this is the way sometimes recruiters will use that information. Here are some of the advanced features on the right side of your screen for people search. You'll notice, let's say you want to connect with some second-level contacts. And you have certainly want to select a location, we'll say the U.S., maybe a specific area, maybe that's the greater Atlanta area. And maybe it's with a specific company as well. And you can see companies listed below here, and I can add a company. And what it's doing is it's sorting content of people that I'm not connected to, and you'll see where it references some shared connections. So let's say Deborah is somebody that I want to connect with in the Atlanta area, and I might also want to connect with her if she works for a company that I'm interested in. And I can see the 3 shared connections here. I know Barbara pretty well. I might want to reach out to Barbara. Now, I'm not going to hit connect because it would automatically send a generic message to Deborah. But if I want to connect to Deborah, I would click on the profile and I would hit connect here so I can add a note and customize my request to Deborah. And I would probably reach out to somebody I know that's a mutual connection that's listed here to first of all find out what would be the best approach to reach out to Deborah. And I probably send them a message and ask. Now you'll notice that Deborah is connected to a couple of mutual groups that I am. So that would also be something that would be helpful if I were to share with her. You know, I noticed that you have LHH Harrison connected on your profile. I noticed that you're connected to a few contacts with my LHH Harrison, and I was interested in asking a few questions. Would you consider connecting with me? I might reach out in that way. Okay, so those are you know, again, selecting network. You're going to you know, do a search up here, whether it's on a title or a name to build your connections, and when you click people or any of these links up here, you're going to have the advanced features over on the right. So this is looking for second-level connections to get introduced to, and if you want to identify a company name up at the top, you can. So you can also identify a company name down below here. So jobs, listing the job title. Now there's a lot more to this because you can sort to a particular job. If you go to the Jobs tab right here, it actually goes directly to the page where you can search for jobs, and then it'll show jobs that you've saved as you've been tracking that progress. Now you can also, a new feature is the LinkedIn salary information. You can click on that, and then you can type in a job title, for example. And from the drop-down menu, let's say senior consultant, And location, maybe we put a specific location. Let's just pick a random one, Orlando, and I could do a search. Now what it's going to do here is it's going to give me a median salary, and it's going to list sample salaries of similar positions. So this says senior consultant in the U.S., there's 358 salaries reported. This is people that have contributed to the site and indicating here a base salary. There's also several similar type positions in here where salary is indicated. This is similar to Glassdoor.com in the resources that they have available. Now, you can also access, and there is a link here somewhere, not on this slide, but let's say you want to submit your salary and they'll email you insights. If you click Get Started, they'll take your information and they'll add it to their database, and they'll also provide some information for you. Now, if you were to select your profile and click on, let's say you want to go to this link here for salary, if you contribute, in some cases, they will say get a full picture, see the breakdown, and it will give you information here, more insights. If you click see more insights, it's going to request that you unlock your salary now and pre-insights for a year, submit your salary, so it does give you information, and it also entices you to select the premium version. That is totally optional for you. But information that you share on the site is private. So that's an option for you. And as you go back to some of these tools up here, I showed you the Jobs tab. Let me just continue with that. If you want to let recruiters know that you're looking for opportunities, click on Update Career Interest. You can let recruiters know that you're open to jobs. You can click that so it's on. You can identify the title, the location, the type of work, jobs you're open to, and show company preferences if you would like, and it gives you a little more opportunity to select. Now that's for jobs, and then the privacy settings, if you want to go to those to set up your connections, that takes you back to your settings, which are part of our basics LinkedIn session. We talk about that. Now you can go back, just hit the back key, and it will allow you to come up to the top toolbar again pretty easily, move into some additional information. You'll notice here where it promotes the premium version on some things that will benefit you if you join if you select the premium version to pay for the service, to connect to recruiters directly, see who's viewing your profile, or stand out as a featured candidate. This can be a nice option if you are applying for positions on LinkedIn. Now, you'll see any notes and comments you can click on here. You can also see notifications when they pop up regarding information, jobs. This shows me here 10 jobs that I might be interested in. Shows me reference, well, it's just a reference to either congratulate somebody. It shows me viewed my profile and other additional information. So what I want to do typically is I want to connect with people, and I can go to my network and see how I'm connected, and then I can request a second level connection. What I also want to do is research companies, and if I go to, for example, this universal search bar, and let's say I'm looking for IT companies, that doesn't seem to produce some results, so I'm going to go ahead and type in here maybe technology. And sometimes there we go, I got to do it correctly. Let me do one more thing. I'm going to just switch it to Salesforce, and you just have to go in here and type in a couple of words. And let's say I'm looking for Salesforce if it's a requirement for a job. And right now it's just going to show top results when it pulls up. So it says job results for Salesforce, people results for Salesforce, and there will be additional content. And then, of course, the filtering tool, keywords on the right. Now, if I click people, it's going to pull up some people that have Salesforce in their profile. And I can see here an example. There's another one. These are going to generally be representing skills or qualifications on the profile. And so I will see people. If that was a unique qualification I was looking for, that's how I would pull it up if I were a recruiter. Who's Salesforce qualified? This person here is certified Salesforce. Now, she's a connection. It tells me first or second level. I have mostly second level here, but I would probably go to first level and maybe connect with her. Well, I am connected to her, but I would, reach out to her and talk with her about that. Now, as you can look at jobs, again, related to Salesforce, it's going to show you some of the jobs listed here, and I can also take a look over here and filter jobs by location, company, date posted, and you can see that. Now, if you scroll down, it tells you the power of the job search with salary information by using the premium version. It'll also showcase information here, though we're not at company listing yet, so we'll get there. If we're looking at any posts that reference Salesforce, again, they're going to pop up here where I can read it, see if there's something that might be helpful to share. And then companies. Now, so companies, and these companies generally have Salesforce in the title here, and maybe I'm going to take a look here, and we'll go to salesforce.com. And anytime you go to a company page where there's information, number one, if it's a company you're interested in, you can follow them to be more visible to the recruiters. You can read information about the company, show a little bit more detail here. You can see, in this case, there's 434 employees from Salesforce.com on LinkedIn. Maybe there's a few of them that I want to reach out to. So I'm going to click the link. And if I were wanting to connect, I would go directly to their profile. And you can see my common connections here with some of those folks. And I may want to reach out to them. I may want to see, well, which people at this organization have worked with Microsoft as well. And it'll show me some additional, actually it's going to show me anybody from Microsoft that doesn't, it lists either or, it doesn't list that it requires both. And so I can sort to that key information on the right-hand side. So these are just Salesforce, and I can also search industry to your profile language. It goes down pretty well into key content that might be helpful, and it shows you, if I'm not connected, it's going to have a connect link. And if I am connected, it'll say first. And again, if they're not even within my network, these are showing that they have a premium version. This is a third level connection, so not somebody I'm connected with or connected through that second level. So these might be people, if I'm interested in reaching out, learning more, it would be worth my taking a look at how I'm connected to them and reaching out to a few of those connections. So for example, Patricia. Let's say I wanted to connect with Patricia. I can send her a message, an email. I can also see my connections here and just click on them. And I can, in this case, if I want to send a message, I can, well, in this case, that's not what I'm going to do there. But let's say I wanted to show people who also viewed what's available there. I can take a look here at my mutual connections if I want to reach out to them. It should give you some options to do that in here. It's not letting me do that, so I would have to go directly to their profile and send them a message. Now, if I want to, again, come up to messaging to message them, I could do that. I would also take a look at any different ways that I can, let's see here, show more information on the profile. That's her profile. So again, I don't necessarily want to do that. I'd probably reach out and just let her know that we're connected to a couple folks and, you know, maybe look for something in common on her profile so that I could reach out and request to connect. Now, if you'll notice under the Work tab, there is information that's professional in nature in terms of learning tools. That would be a feature of the premium. You can post a job. As you notice some of the jobs that were posted, I'll just show you an example. Let's say we want to look at this position right here. If I have the job listed here, now the poster would be Rochelle or Raquel. And this is a second level contact. I could click on Raquel and see how I'm connected. It looks like she's in the area. I can, you know, click here, easy apply through LinkedIn. I can save this position. I can also share it with somebody. I can tweet it, well, I can tweet it out, but I can also forward it out there on LinkedIn as a post to a group if I want to. Let's say I want to click on this. I can post it within a group. I can post it on to my connections. So that's an option. Now, if you want to take a look here, the person posting, you can send an email here if you have the LinkedIn Premium. And if I want to connect, again, I can go to the profile of this person if I choose to do it. Now I'm there, and I can request to connect here, add a note. You know, I noticed you posted this position. I was just wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about it. She's a recruiter, So again, you can connect to the poster of the job. Now, if you want to see more about the job, just click on See More. There's a lot there. And you can also see how you compare to the competition by trying the premium to see you have to obviously apply to show how you compare. It says see how you stack up to other applicants you obviously want to apply to get that comparison. It'll highlight people on the team. It'll also show you information about the company and give you the suggestion to follow the company. There's some similar jobs as well. So it goes through and it integrates information about the company, about the jobs listed by the company, about the team members, about people in contact you may want to reach out to. So that's really helpful as it integrates and it shows people also viewed in the content on the right. So if you take a look here at the Work tab, once again, you've got additional features. If you were to post a job, let's say you're working for a company and they want you to post a job on LinkedIn, you could use that tool. You could advertise. You could click on groups to access groups here. You'll see My Groups shows you the groups that I'm part of. And it will show the group. It'll show new conversations in the group if I want to access. There's a little wheel tool here. If I want to go to the group settings or leave the group, I have some options. If I have any pending groups, it's showing that. I want to filter my groups. Let's say I want to take a look at my training group. I can click on that, and it's going to bring up those training groups. There are 3 of them. And I can look at some of those new conversations and access that information there. I can discover some new groups. Now, I could do that in the search tool. These are some groups. This is join a group to connect to a new industry or passion. So now I have about, looks like 10 people that I know that are part of this group. I may want to join that group. There are about, looks like 22 people that are part of this group. So it gives me suggestions of groups I might want to join that would help me be effective in networking. This is a great way to build your network and gather more information related to content. So I'm going to, again, take a look here. There might be a few. This one looks like a really good group I'm going to ask to join. Now I just click on the link. It's a pending request, and it'll approve it generally based on, again, how many numbers they accept within that group. So I can also take a look, let's say, and I've got some groups here that don't have a lot of members. Here's one with a lot of members. I might go ahead and select that group. So I typically would recommend about 20 groups, and then filter what you're reading and what information is coming from groups that you're part of, and decide if there's some groups that you're currently with that are ineffective. You can go to My Groups and then, you know, change your resource so that you can leave a group if you want to. Okay, now if you take a look again, that tool in the upper right-hand corner where your picture is, if you click on your profile up there, I'm in the help page right now, which is not helping me much. And I'm going to go back to, let's say that there's lots of information up there. So I'm going to click on the wheel. That's what I'm looking for, and I want to view my profile again. So the main toolbar is what you're looking for. Anytime you open up a page, it generally opens up a new tab. So I can come back up here. I can find, again, some professional tools. The salary tool we talked about, that was available under the jobs tab as well. And these are tools, again, professional use, and some of the premium tools like SlideShare. Now, again, if I click on Try Premium for free, it gives me all the options, tells me some of the features and some of the benefits of each one, and I could select a plan to look at more information. Just a couple of additional things at the very bottom. Well, it shows me a little bit more about the free tools and the sample testimonials, the sample documents, and at the very bottom of your profile, there are some additional resources down below for, community guidelines. There is a LinkedIn blog as well, and it doesn't indicate the specifics here, but if you go to, LinkedIn blog, you can access that information. If you go to the top of your screen where your profile exists, you just have to close a few links. The profile is up here. Then you can access here's showing you the different products and resources. And if you go to this premium resource, again, it shows you some of the options. There's the wheel, view, there's the Help Center. So I had it open. The Help Center, if you click here for content, let's say you're looking for content on training, and you're wondering, do they have any webinars I typically will look for this to see if LinkedIn offers some new training, and you'll get to see here their webinars, and you may want to check for recent content. You can click on the links. Here's their engaging with your LinkedIn profile. This is an older session, and they do have many times recordings on here as well. Nothing new, but there is information if you have a topic of interest that you can certainly click on to gather that information. So those are the main tools that you see across the top of the screen. When you use the universal search bar, you can build your list. You can find people, find job opportunities, find topical content that you can pass along, and certainly from blogs out there, you can contribute content on LinkedIn to help build awareness of your skills and also connect to people. So it's important that as you utilize tools for networking on LinkedIn that you build your profile, so certainly it's complete, but it boosts your visibility to recruiters when you have 300 to 500 or more connections. We encourage you to continue to build your connections to people by carrying on a business card, making sure that you look for every opportunity to connect to people that you work with on projects or you meet in your job search, or people that are part of groups or companies that you may want to pursue, so you can have a wide selection of connections that will help introduce you to hiring professionals. We also encouraging leveraging connections and request introductions for hiring managers. Now, the introduction feature has changed on LinkedIn, but you can certainly take a look and see how you're connected to people on LinkedIn that will help you get those introductions. We also encourage you to join and engage in those groups, relevant groups that pertain to expertise that you can contribute and you can also gather. We also encourage you to access jobs and see how you're connected to people with different companies, and also be able to get connected or at least access to the job poster. If you have questions or you want to gather information about your standing with a particular job, again, that premium version may be very helpful to see your positioning and your comparison to applicants regarding job opportunities. So additional webinars that will help you in effectively networking and very strategically utilizing tools to network. I would say effective networking is a primary one. If you have not completed your profile to the all-star level, which is listed under the main part of your profile, be sure to take our LinkedIn Basics session. Most of you likely have. That is a recording also available. So I want to thank you for your time listening to our session on networking with LinkedIn. I wish you well networking and building your profile so you can be most effective in your transition utilizing LinkedIn.